Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the Mandatory. We got a very special guest joining us today. And Bryan, we've been waiting to get this guest on our show for a little minute now. And we finally get to. She's going to be dropping some news as well on our show. But we got Franchon Crews-Dezurn, the heavy hitting diva, joining us today on the Mandatory. Franchon, thank you so much. We've been waiting to get you on the show, and it's such a pleasure to have you on here.
Thank you for having me. Now we're all set. Yeah.
Um, Franchon, so I don't know if you remember, but I actually did run into you in Orlando when you were at the Amanda Serrano fight. This was like a year and a half ago or so. So this is
Mhm.
before the Shadesha Green fight, but it was like the announcement or whatever. And the press conference got pretty heated. But you ended up getting that win, and we haven't seen you since. So just what have you been up to since then? And obviously, you've been training. You have an announcement that you are signing to Salita Promotions as well. So give us an update on just where you're at right now.
Well, I'm the definition of hard work and consistency, um, and creating those opportunities for me. Unfortunately, after I did beat, Green, they didn't roll the red carpet out for me, but I wasn't expecting that.
Mm.
I stuck to what I usually do, which is boxing, my fashion, my music, working with my manager Peter Kahn, just getting the next steps. But I'm still relevant. I'm still here, and I'm still winning.
By they not rolling the red carpet out for you, who is the they you're referring to?
Boxing, boxing. Nobody in particular, just boxing.
Okay.
I mean, I like to think of boxing as a work based kind of job. You still, of course, the publicity and the marketing, but you still got to win and you still got to fight. And I'm doing those things, but I guess I don't know. Me being undisputed, unified, all of that good stuff isn't worth anything in boxing.
So that's kind of the crazy part, right? Because you just mentioned a couple of your accolades and you have a really good fan base as well. Franchon, do you believe that you don't get the respect that you deserve?
Absolutely, absolutely. I believe I am respected. I'll take I am respected. I don't think that I'm mentioning those conversations when you mention the women who's doing stuff, the new age pioneers, the ones who's been putting in work. Um, I don't think I'm acknowledged as much as I should be because I don't fit in people's boxes. But hey, the proof's in the pudding.
And you know what's kind of crazy is like there's a lot of you women in boxing right now that are inspiring the younger generation. Like when I was growing up, we didn't get to see y'all on television fight the way that we do now. Talk to me a little bit about the impact that you're making on these young women.
Well, some of the biggest names in sports I made an impact on. And when we had women on the professional side, like your Chrissy Martins, your Laylas, your Lucia Rikers doing their thing in the pros, you had women like me making my mark in the amateurs to be able to build the USA boxing program, specifically in the super middleweight, big girl weights, um, domestically and internationally. I mean, if I was to post my resume from the amateurs, it wouldn't even fit on one page. So while they were doing their work in the pros, I was doing my work in the amateurs to help grow that along with some other talented females. But even in the professionals, when you see all these super fights with the women, I believe me and Shields set the precedence for that. Two people, one out of the Olympics, one just winning the world medal, another winning the Olympic medal, going pro against each other for their debut. So nobody acknowledges that as much as they should, but when you ahead of the curve, it happens.
You said in a previous interview, and I'll quote you directly. You said a lot of us women have been shut out due to the changes in boxing. I want to offer you the space to expand on that because you weren't really offered a follow up there, and I feel like that was follow up worthy. Just like, what do you mean by the changes have kind of shut you guys out? Is this in direct correlation to like what's going on in Saudi Arabia, or is it something else?
Um, if that's a recent interview, I like to think that my answer was inspired by that. Uh, I can't say they totally haven't put women on. I know they did put Sky and they put another young lady on one of their write a season cards, but for all the big things they're doing, I don't see like a lot of women incorporated. And I remember during COVID and a little bit after COVID, women were saving boxing. You know what I mean? We've proven that we can sell out uh, venues. We've proven we can entertain, whether you like it in a technical way or just a fighting way. We've proven ourselves, and I believe that we should be allotted those spaces to grow too. You know, it's always progression, and you can't raise one without the other. It's going to become unbalanced. All you have now is guys, oh, we're bros, or oh, I don't get this amount of money. When you got girls that probably will fight for half of what they're getting, maybe even a quarter of what they're getting, they'll gladly accept it against the toughest opponent. So it's like, what are we doing?
Yeah, and I think it comes off as a little bit unfair because you guys should be making that type of bread as well. But you mentioned it, like there hasn't been a lot of women fights in Saudi. And let's keep it real, like Turk hasn't put it on, right? He's put on a lot of other fights, but he hasn't really focused on women's boxing. Someone that has, though, has been Jake Paul. Like, how good has he been for the sport? I know he gets a little bit of flack, but how good has that been for women's boxing?
So as I say, I'm definitely a girl's girl. You can't really be consider yourself a pioneer, myself a new age pioneer, if you don't really want girls to win. And my personal experience may differ from some of theirs, but the fact that he's taken an Amanda Serrano and shined that light on her, and in turn she's able to shine that light on all these women they've signed. Like one of the girls they signed, I love Ramla Ali. I love everything she stands for. She's really that girl outside of the ring. Like she don't need boxing. She just loves to do it. So just to have that diverse group of women who have decent fan bases that will be able to bring new eyes to the sport, just being associated with MVP and Jake. I have to I'm not a hater. I want all the women to win. And I'm grateful for, even Salita Promotions extending his red carpet to other women that have done great things in boxing too.
Yeah, it feels like this is as much talent and increasingly more like the women are putting forward, but at the same time, like I don't feel like they're getting promoted in the way that they should be because it doesn't feel like even the top rank, for example, and I'm not meaning to sideswipe them or whatever, but they have a huge roster and there's Michaela Mayer, they just signed somebody else. There's barely any women on there. PBC doesn't have a ton either. And obviously Salita has some. Jake Paul has some. Uh, I'm not expecting many to be involved in TKO because of the laws out there, and they're not bringing a lot of women to Saudi Arabia. So, it, correct me if I'm wrong, Franchon, but it doesn't feel like it's adding up where you have all these women, but why aren't there more places to go? Why aren't there more places to be seen and to make some of these fights that we would want to see?
Well, can I be honest with you? I'm in
Sure,
this era. Like I feel so good in this space that I can just say whatever the hell I want to say because
please do.
Yeah,
I've
keep
heard it
keep it real
right.
with us. Keep it real with us.
But but we have to be honest. Some 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 women, I'll be honest, some women their talent isn't matching what they're asking for.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
I've had Peter Khan has been in the game for many, many years, worked from the top to the bottom, but he will throw that market price out there and let me know. Like sometimes he has to G check me, like, hold up. So I
right.
think that it's always an ever going process. And yes, we should be seen. And I've had conversations with people outside the U.S. who are so enthusiastic about women's boxing. Like they're definitely on the ground putting that work in. And it does come to we have to facilitate our own opportunities as well. But that always comes with, do you have the capital? Do you have the backing? Do you have the support? Do you have the network that's going to get behind you? So it's just like kind of the catch 22. But some women have to understand sometimes you have to invest in yourself and bet on yourself. Because when I took my first fight, I betted on myself and have a great ROI. It ain't the easiest route, but I love what I've done.
I guess my last question on this specific conversation would be, you talked about how, some women, they have a particular market value, and some promotional companies have the bag to give you, right? And we've seen in Saudi that they're giving the bag to a lot of these men. Why do you think the women aren't getting the bag in Saudi? And there's obviously a lot of issues. However, it seems like Turk's been like that dude, right? So it's like, why aren't the women getting the big fights in Saudi?
I believe we aren't given the opportunity, and I and that's for us to even be in this space right now. It was because somebody gave an opportunity. Hold on, can you stop, please? Thank you. It's my new cat, but
Well, bring her. Is it a he or a she? We want to meet the
it's
cat
a
too.
he. He's a menace. His name is Smokey, and he's a
Great cat name.
stop. No,
Franchon,
no.
he wants camera time too. Okay, he wants to be up in this video. He wants to be up in the interview. Just introduce him, everybody. Here is Franchon Crews-Dezurn's cat, Smokey.
His name is Smokey Robinson Crews-Dezurn too.
Oh, I
Okay,
love that.
that's great.
But
That's great.
but back to it, I think everything starts with the opportunity. Or just give us the platform. Yes, they had two women fight. I think it was Sky Nickel and Sky and another young lady.
I think Raven
But
Chapman might have been the other one.
yes, I apologize. I get punched in the head for a living, so. But listen, it's big names out there. Like send me to Saudi. Watch me get active. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Um, I think the opportunity, and we definitely need, like, he works with all the promoters. If the promoters would just, vouch for the girls they have, then when they put those girls on, you have to have opponents, and it might be girls who aren't signed. So there, we're getting other girls to be seen. We just have to open that just a little crack and open that door for that opportunity for the women. But they know when he knows when he do say he asked one of the big names to come up there, he's gonna have to pay. I know if he asked me, he's gonna have to pay.
But
Yeah.
yeah, bring out the bag, Turk. We want to see it.
Yeah.
Okay, you bring out the bag for everyone else. Someone that's been making the bag and is a big name. You fought her one time before, Claressa Shields.
Yeah.
Now, is this a fight that we could possibly be getting, and why should we be getting it again?
Yes, it's a fight that we should be getting and that it can possibly be gotten. And it's the most realistic one. I think I live in the twilight zone with boxing for some of these fights, these fantasy fights that the public wants. And I don't know, maybe just tickles their fancy. But if you looked at our first fight as professionals with me on a 2.5 week notice, 4 rounds was more competitive and action packed than some of maybe her 10-round fights or some of these other top name 10-round fights. You taking two people who who understand each other. I always tell Claressa our journeys are intertwined. If you ever seen the Matrix, it's like Neo and the agent. That's how I feel. You know what I mean? You might get me this time, but I'm on your ass. You know what I'm saying? But and it's balanced because you see what happens when she fights certain people.
Yeah.
And even under my circumstance, I swear, I gotta get it the hard way. No excuses, but I really have to get it the hard way. Without a machine behind me. But you see, if it's not like a her or even a Savannah that was competitive, it's not gonna be what people think it's gonna be. They thought I was gonna get beat up by Green. I beat up Setterus, who's a top athlete, knocking people out unanimously, broke a nose, broke a rib. So it's like, yeah, let's do it. I look forward to that. Before I hang up the gloves, I definitely want that. But it's other girls I would love to fight and share my platform with them so we can keep growing the sport. Because that, to be honest, if Claressa decides to take a break, or
Mhm.
I'm finished doing what I'm doing, who's gonna stand up and be the last, Mohican? Who's gonna hold it down?
Okay, so two-part question for me. One, In the eventual rematch, because I do think it'll happen at some point, we'll speak it into existence for you. In the eventual rematch between you and Claressa Shields, what would make the rematch different than the first time around? Given that it was your first pro fight, first pro fight, it was a 4-rounder, and now y'all are champions and the top of the top, and it would be a 10-round fight. So, like, just give us what do you think the differences would be there? And then the second part, you just mentioned there's other women you would like to see. And obviously, I would want to know, and Shantelle would want to know,
Yes.
who would they be?
Yeah.
Who would they be? Because you do have multiple titles, so there are a lot of options there for you.
Well, I could give you 5 differences
Oh,
other than the one you mentioned. I would have a full camp.
how long was the first camp?
2.5 weeks.
Oh
I
boy.
was
Oh, okay. Okay.
I was literally sitting on my couch thinking like, damn, I'm gonna try to go for the Olympics again, which was in December, and I'm in here fighting in November. I had to smash weight and everything. Not to
Mm.
take anything from Shields, but she knew what she was going to do. She knew she was going pro. I didn't know I was going pro. I just showed up like, hey, I'm here. Yeah. But I would have a full camp. We both have a lot more experience as professionals. We've grown, she's a full woman. I'm a full woman. Uh, I would have resources like, I'm so grateful for Peter Khan who looks after me and treats me like a champ. Like I don't see, oh, you're a girl, you're a boy. He treats me like the undisputed motherfucking champ of the world. um, you know, I have my own weight too. It wouldn't be just even though Claressa has the bigger fanfare,
Right.
you got somebody who can match that. I just don't have a machine behind me, but you got somebody who can match that. And for me, the stakes are different for me. The stakes are different. A lot of people don't know unless you follow my story. 2 weeks after I debuted with Claressa, 2 weeks after my mom transitioned. So even though I didn't win, I was able to bury my mom and do the things I need to do. But I have to complete my mission. I have to complete it. And what was your second part?
Oh, just the other women you would like to see,
Oh
other than
yeah.
Claressa Shields.
Well, I would love to fight Savannah again. I wish she would come
Yeah.
out so I can give her a 2 piece and a scone. Um, but I don't want to be the dead horse. I mean, hey, Jake Paul said he passing out that bag, and Green is technically a champion. If I could do it once, I could do it twice. I would love to see her again to unify the rest of my babies.
Hmm.
I'm in a position I can definitely go to 160. I would love to explore that. Even in the amateurs, I was a pound for pound international champion. Definitely go to heavyweight. I mean, I want to explore. Nobody's calling my name. Like who's the biggest at those weights? You
So
know?
So I actually got something to ask you, Franchon, and I think this is the perfect time for you to say it. If you had a message right now, because the fight to make to me for you, there's 2 fights. It's Claressa Shields and Savannah Marshall.
Yeah.
Right. Those are the 2 fights that I want to see you in. And those are massive fights. And I think you definitely like I got you against Savannah for sure, right? You and Claressa, like I'm telling you right now, that is a blockbuster fight. They got to give you the bag for that. So we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna put it out there. If you had a message for Claressa Shields, what would that message be?
Um, After you handle your business, get your cute ass in the gym, and we gonna get this work. It's nothing. Like it's nothing. She always consider us like Venus and Serena.
Mm.
We can hug, we can laugh, but she knows that when it's time to compete, I'm a competitor. She's a competitor. I have respect for her and all she's accomplished. Um, but yeah, let's get it. Let's get it.
And other than giving, Savannah a scone, do you have a message for her to too? So you guys can run that one back.
Yeah, her cute ass. She real cute. Come on out to play. I wish I had some bottles, Savannah. Listen, you gotta catch me on a good day. I will talk some shit, but I'm just about that action. And And for those two girls, definitely, two Olympians, I wanted, and I'm gonna tell these young girls, these real young girls, before we get off of here,
Mm-hmm.
I see you, I'm rooting for you. But if you step out your lane, I'm putting belt to ass. They call me Big Mama for a reason. So if you feeling froggy, you know you can leap. I had the girl Olivia Curry. She tried to jump out there. Once you finish, and when you don't get a draw with a 1-on-1 fighter, then we can have a conversation. Make sure them actions match that yapping.
And you got a fight coming up.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard.
Yes.
Okay, so what can we expect from you in that fight?
Against Ortiz, who was also an Olympian.
Yeah, I'm very excited about my next fight. And when you are people view in a certain way and you fight certain people, they might not give them the respect. But my next opponent is very respected. She's a Team USA alumni, a Team Mexico alumni. She's a 2024 Olympian, multiple national champion, and that gets my blood going. And I expect to maybe get that old thing back. Show people I can box and bang, and just have fun with it. Especially when you've been out the ring for a minute, you definitely have to find that love to get back into it, because everybody isn't getting a huge bag that gets them inspired. But for the love of it, I'm looking forward to this fight.
And I just want to end off our interview with something a little bit fun. I heard a rumor you're also a singer, though. Is that true?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I see you got the Aaliyah tee on.
See, we're gonna rock all these boats.
So if you could just kind of explain who you would compare your singing style to, who would it be?
Oh, I don't know. I finally come into my own, but I'll tell you who I'm inspired by.
Okay.
And they are like R&B pop greats. Of course, Destiny's Child, and that includes Beyonce, Brandy, um, Aaliyah, of course, Maya. So, a little the 2000 girls, that the artists, not only because of their voices, because they had to put in the work. You had to work out to have the look. You had to have the stage presence. You had to have the development. So that's the class I like to go to. But Victoria Monet is my girl right now.
Yeah, she's got some good stuff, and Brandy's got classics. She's just underappreciated. I had to ask you that. So the next time we have you on our show, I'm hoping you're gonna have some music to drop too.
Oh, well, I do. I have, of course, my international hit "Secret Place," and I dropped this song called "Leave Me Alone." It's an R&B song that's out now on all platforms, and I'll be dropping another song. I'm just gonna keep dropping music, just to tickle my fancy.
For sure. You gotta name one of your albums now Big Mama, just because you said it.
I actually like that.
I'm telling you, right?
I like that.
Yeah.
Big Mama's house.
Franchon, we appreciate you coming on our show. It's been a
Absolutely.
pleasure to talk to you. We wish you all the best for your next fight. And we're hoping to talk into existence those two fights. So whenever you fight Claressa and whenever you fight Savannah, we'd love to have you back on the show again.
Yeah, get you some tickets so y'all could come. Shout out to my new matchmakers. Talk about y'all. Thank you.
Thank you, Franchon. Appreciate you.
All righty. Bye-bye.